Welcome everyone to another episode of Chit Chat Chronicles, the podcast where we delve into intriguing topics, share our casual thoughts. I'm your host, Angelo Salado, and joining me today are wonderful panelists, Miss Yamil Montealegre, Miss Aliyah Gamboa, Miss Sarah Fernando, and lastly, Miss Ara Cabral. How's everyone doing?
We're glad to be here.
Fantastic! Well, today we have an interesting topic to discuss. Has technology helped connect people or isolate them? It's a hot topic these days, and I'm sure we all have different opinions on it. So let's dive right in. To start things off, let's hear some initial thoughts on the subject. Shamil, what are your first impressions?
Thanks, Angelo. I think technology has played a dual role in connecting and isolating people. On one hand, it has undeniably made communication easier, allowing us to connect with loved ones and friends across vast distances. Social media platforms have connected us with people we may have lost touch with otherwise. However, on the flip side, excessive screen time and virtual interaction can lead to a sense of isolation and disconnection from the real world. It is a double-edged sword.
That's a great point, Shamil. Aliyah, what are your initial thoughts on this matter?
I agree with Shamil. Technology has undoubtedly bridged the gap between people, fostering connection that were once impossible. The internet, for instance, has brought communities together, enabling individuals to share ideas and collaborate across borders. But, on the other hand, I've seen how people can become overly dependent on their devices, prioritizing virtual relationship over face-to-face interactions. It can lead to isolation and hinder the development of genuine connections.
Interesting perspective, indeed. Sarah, what are your thoughts on this topic?
Well, I believe technology has the power to both connection and isolate. On one hand, it has allowed us to connect with diverse individuals, cultures, fostering empathy and understanding. For example, through video calls, I've been able to have a meaningful conversation with people from different parts of the world. But on the other hand, the constant presence of smartphones and social media can create a sense of isolation within physical spaces. It's essential to strike a balance and use technology intentionally.
Absolutely, Sarah. Striking that balance is crucial. Ara, what's your take on this subject?
I agree with the panelists' points. Technology has undoubtedly helped connect people in numerous ways, making it easier to stay in touch with friends, family, and colleagues. However, it's important to recognize that technology isn't the sole factor in isolation. It can simplify existing issues or insecurities, but ultimately it depends on how individuals choose to use it. By being mindful of our technology use and seeking meaningful connections offline, we can prevent isolation and embrace the benefits of technology.
Well said, Ara. It's clear that the technology can serve as a tool for connection, but it's also essential to be aware of its potential downsides. Now, let's move on to some deeper discussion points. How has technology affected our social interaction and relationship? Shamil, would you like to kick us off?
Absolutely, Angelo. Technology has transformed our social interactions in many ways. On one hand, we can now maintain long-distance relationships more easily through video calls and instant messaging. It has become simpler to stay connected with friends and family across the globe. However, the constant presence of smartphones and social media can also distract us during face-to-face interactions, diminishing the quality of our in-person relationships.
Once again, this is Chit Chat Chronicles podcast, where we explore the impact of technology on human connection. In our thought-provoking discussion, we've discovered that the technology has both connected and isolated people. While it has brought us closer together across borders, we must navigate its pitfalls wisely, fostering genuine face-to-face interactions and using technology as a tool for empathy and inclusivity. And once again, this is Miss Shamil Montealegre, Miss Aliyah Gamboa, Miss Sarah Fernando, and lastly, Miss Ara Cabral. Thank you for being our guest for today. Tune in for another Chit Chat Chronicles episode.